Alright, I just finished up scripting this, and this will be part 2 of the new series that I'm going to be starting on my channel called What If Deku Was Extraterrestrial? And like in the first part, this is going to be a portion to go more in depth with the 50 sub special. And with that being said, we last left off with Izuku and Ishido meeting Kirishima and everything, and when they were like 10 years old. And so these three kind of like build a friendship going up, and for like the next 5 years. Deku's psionic abilities evolve even further to where not only can he like basically reinforce his punches and kicks, but he can also produce mild force fields. Like not super strong ones, but enough to kind of break the brace the force of like hits or like objects and stuff. Like ever so slightly enough to where he could potentially do it, because the further the psionic constructs are away from him, the weaker their form is. So it's basically like this force field is more like, it would be compared to like normal like glass with a film on the inside to prevent shattering versus a bulletproof plexiglass. Kind of difference. The bulletproof would be like his hands, and the non-shatter one would be the force fields that he can produce outside of his range. And before the 10-month training arc and everything, the thing with Ishido and Kirishima happens like in canon, but at the same, like that day before that all happened, Ishido and Kirishima, Ishido asks him, like, so do you want to like go to the train station together? And Izuku's like, no, like I'm gonna go check out a music store and kind of like, jam out on the way home. Like we have the whole weekend, and I kind of just wanna chill out and just go for like a jog or something. She's like, okay, fine. You see you Monday then. And so like she leaves, and Kirishima he gives Kirishima a high five on his way out of high school. He's out of the school, and he's like, yo, see you after the weekend's over. I'm basically gonna like do my own thing this weekend. Kirishima's like, okay, man, see you then. And so Izuku goes, and the incident with the buff guy, Ishido, and Kirishima happens. And it's at this point that Kirishima's like, she's kind of cute, like, and she's like amazing because like she acted without him. And at this point, yes, Kirishima like has more control over his quirk, and he can do full bottoming, but it's not like very strong. Like his hands are pretty strong, just simply because like him and Izuku have sparred a little bit, like, testing out their quirks. And like that day, this is like the day that the sludge villain happens. And so Izuku's walking like underneath this thing, and he gets attacked by the sludge villain, and like the sludge villain goes around him, and then all of a sudden Deku just creates a bubble around himself and like falls like out of the sludge villain, basically. And then he's like, what are you doing, freak? Get away. And Sludge Villain goes to attack him again, and Deku just puts up another force field, and he's like, dude, like, chill out. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're kind of gross looking. And Izuku didn't really notice this guy because he had his headphones on. And at this point, like, his hoodie falls down, and Sludge Villain's like, you still would make a good skin suit. And at this point, the Sludge Villain kind of breaks through the force field and, like, hits him. And before he passes out, like, he just hears, like, do not fear, for I am here. And basically, All Might defeats the Sludge Villain, like, in canon. And Izuku's like, he kind of wakes up after a few minutes, and All Might's like, young man, like, kind of, you know, creep slapping, like, the kid on his face. And, like, mind you, that's the worst thing you can do if someone has passed out. Very bad idea to do that. So that being said, Izuku is asking him all these questions and everything, and he does end up grabbing onto All Might's leg. Or no, he doesn't grab onto All Might's leg because he wouldn't have a reason. He asks All Might, is like, do you think I could be a hero with, like, such a weak quirk? Like, all I'm able to do is, like, reinforce my hands, like, striking power, and I can somewhat create these force fields that can block stuff, but they're not really that effective. Like, if something has a high velocity, or if someone's strong enough, they can just break right through it like it's paper. And in the back of his mind, All Might is like, ooh, this kid might actually be a good candidate for One For All. But then he's like, but he doesn't look that strong. So, and there was that Mirio kid that I thought mentioned. And so, like, All Might jumps off. Well, when he's jumped, like, he knows he's about to run out of time, so he lands on the building. Then he's like, dang it, I'm such a butterfingers. And All Might had accidentally dropped one of the bottles of sludge. And this is when Bakugo and his cronies are walking through, and they're like, we can't believe, like, you're actually going to go to UA and everything, and, like, you're so cool and everything. He's like, yeah, no, but... And then they're like, have you heard from that Deku kid? Like, didn't you guys used to be, like, friends? And Katsuki is like, I don't want to talk about it. Like, that nerd probably, like, isn't good or anything. Like, he's just stupid. He had, like, a stupid quirk that changed his skin color, gave him antenna, and, like, all he could do was, like, produce these little freaking weird constructs around his fingers. And they mentioned, like, yeah, but, like, he could do some serious damage with those things. And Bakugo's like, yeah, he's kind of like a villain, kind of. And he kicks open the bottle, and the whole thing with him and the sludge villain, like, starts happening. And Izuku hears this explosion, and he's like, oh, my heroes will probably take care of it. No reason for me to go there. And then subconsciously he finds his way there, and he's like, I guess I did it again. And then he's looking, he's like, wait, why aren't the heroes doing anything? Like, that guy has someone. And then he sees, like, the kid's face, and he's like, wait, that can't be. Why aren't they doing anything? I've got to do something. I can't just let this guy die. Especially if, like, no, it can't be. And he's already running towards it, and and the heroes are trying to, like, stop him and everything. And one of the heroes kind of, like, grabs his jacket, and it comes off, and it just shows Izuku with, like, these 3 digits and an opposable thumb, and he has like green skin. His eyes are like greened out, like here where Ishido's eyes are black, Izuku's are like an ocean emerald green, and his eyes, instead of being yellow, are like cyan green. And he has green skin, and his hair is green, and they're like, wait, what is this another villain or anything? But then all of a sudden, Deku just reaches throws his book bag like in canon, and then when he gets up to Bakugo, he's clawing, and then like his quirk activates, and he's able to get Katsuki out of the sludge village. At the same time, All Might is coming in with his famous Detroit Smash. And just like in canon, like Katsuki like is getting praised for being such, and then they tell Izuku like that was kind of like reckless. You could have gotten yourself hurt, kid. And Izuku kind of just like yells at him like, yeah, but you guys weren't doing a damn thing. Worthless damn heroes. And he kind of like walks off, and All Might's a little concerned about that. And he's like, yeah, like I could probably work with him on that. People skills doesn't seem good, but seems like he has a strong quirk. So as Izuku's walking to his house, he hears someone come running up behind him, and he's like, Deku, is that really you? And he turns around and he sees it's Katsuki, and he's like, how did you get so strong, you damn nerd? And what happened to your quirk? And Izuku's like, Kachan, do you want to do this again? We've already fought when we were kids. And before I moved, I kind of beat your ass. And like, Katsuki's like, you damn nerd, that's not what... Like, how did you get stronger than when you were a kid? Izuku's like, you know, we used to be friends. But ever since you got your quirk, you've kind of become an a-hole. And it's people like you that shouldn't become heroes if you're going to act like that. And how my quirk got stronger is I trained my ass off every day. Because unlike you, I want to be a hero to protect people. I don't want to be a hero for the fame. I don't want like all the fame and glory that comes with it. I just want to help people that can't help themselves. And this is being overheard by All Might, like around the corner, and so Katsuki's like, fine, whatever. Anyway, thanks, but I didn't really need your help anyway. And like kind of storms off. Because even though Izuku and Katsuki live in the general area, they never really saw too much of each other. They would see each other in passing, but never really speak to each other, you know. It's like, oh, there's that guy, and just go about their own business. Because Katsuki and Izuku's friendship literally, like, ended and deteriorated with Kachan, like, with the bullying and everything that he started doing. So that being said, All Might comes out of the alleyway, and he's like, and Izuku's like, Kachan, I really just want to go home at this point. And All Might's like, young boy, I don't know this Kachan, but there's some things I need to speak to you about. And Izuku turns around and he's like, All Might, look, what are you doing here? And All Might's like, well, at first I wanted to speak to you with how you treated those heroes and everything. And Izuku's like, yeah, well, no thanks to them, Kachan could have probably died. And All Might's like, oh, so you know the young boy that was captured, and that's who this Quashon is. And he's like, yeah, but we don't really know each other anymore. It's been years since we've hung out. Matter of fact, it's been like almost 8 years since we really like spoken to each other besides today. And he's like, so why did you say that to those heroes? It's like, because they weren't acting. Like, yeah, their quirks weren't suited for the situation, but they could have done something. Like, the water hose guy could have created, like, some water and, like, used his quirk to, like, I don't know, like, create an opening for, like, that strength, the metal fist guy to, like, punch, like, there's just so much that could have been done. Mount Lady could have shrunk down, then come running in, and then gigantify while grabbing Katsuki and like pushing back the sludge villain. But no, like all they think about is like press and reputation. Heroes like that kind of disgust me. And because in this, Izuku kind of has like the same mentality as Stain, but he's not a killer. He basically wants to become a hero to show everyone what a real hero is supposed to be. And Deku says this, and he's like, kind of like you, All Might. Like, you're like the epitome of what a hero should be. Like, you're always putting yourself in danger, and you don't really care about the fame too much. I mean, do a little bit, and like, it's kind of off-putting to me, but you're still one of my favorite heroes. And All Might like kind of explains like his quirk and offers it to Izuku, and Izuku's like, I'm not too sure about that, and it's like, and All Might's like, well, could I at least train you? And this is getting Izuku to thinking, and he's like, well, if you're gonna train me, you mind if I bring a friend? Well, a couple of friends. Like, actually, like the only two friends that I have. And I'm like, sure, like it should be interesting. And so Izuku calls up Kirishima and Ishido and is like, you guys won't believe what happened to me today. And then Kirishima's like, dude, like, we saw it. And like, Ishido's like, yeah, like, we saw you were on the news and everything. And like, Izuku's like, no, like, you won't believe what happened later on. And then like, what do you mean? And it's like, well, All Might wants to train me. And like, Ishido and Kirishima's like, what? You want, like, All Might wants to train you? Really? You met All Might? Like, what? And Izuku's like, yeah, meet me at this beach, like, tomorrow and everything, and, like, I'll explain everything to you. And so Ishido and Kirishima meet up because they live close to each other, and they're talking, literally, I can't believe, like, Izuku met All Might, and, like, he's gonna get trained by All Might for the entrance exam and everything? Like, this is awesome. And then Kirishima's like, yeah, you won't have any issues, Ishido, like, you have a strong quirk and you're confident, and I'm kind of like, I'm sorry I didn't, like, I could have helped out back there with that muscular guy. And Ishido's like, wait, like, is that what's been keeping you down, like, the past, like, all day? And Kirishima's like, yeah, like, I could have done something, but I didn't. And so he goes, so like they arrive at Dig Up a Beach, and Izuku's like already there, and there's this skinny guy sitting there talking to him, and then Izuku kind of like waves at him and everything, and like they're like, where's All Might? Like, I thought you said All Might was gonna like be here. And the skinny man like kind of walks up to him, and he's like, you two must be Hold on a moment. You must be young Miss Ashido, and you must be young Kirishima. And they're like, who are you? And Izuku's just standing there smiling, just and he's starting to chuckle, and then All Might puffs up, and they're like, what? You're All Might? Are you the real All Might? And then All Might kind of like buffs down like more, and he's like, yes. And Izuku, like young Midori over there, has kind of told me that you two have pretty strong quirks yourself, and like you don't have too much control over it. And he's like, young Midoriya explained to me about you, young Kirishima, that you have a hardening quirk. That's correct. And he's like, yeah, but like it's not that strong. And he's like, well, how about this? You and young Midoriya do some workouts and everything, like cleaning up this trash. And you, young Ishio, like you can help them out, but I want you to work on controlling your acid more. Like, think more of applications to use it. And it takes the three of them like a month and a half to 2 months to clean up the beach. Like Ishido like learned how to control her acid better. She's learned how to do like the running, the like putting the acid beneath her feet and like basically using it as skates. And she's able to like create these paths and stuff with her acid to move like larger objects. And she's put on a little bit of muscle. But then we cut over to Izuku and Kirishima. And because of Izuku's alien physiology, he's actually put on a decent amount of muscle. And Kirishima's gotten a little bit bulkier, but the big thing is, like, over the couple months, like, Izuku's, like, been talking with him, and, like, because when Kirishima's goes to use his quirk, like, he tells Kirishima, it's like, why do you just turn it all on at once and everything? Like, can't you, like, focus it to a point in, like, your fingertips and then, or, like, do it throughout your entire body? Like, why is it all or nothing? And Kirishima's like, well, it's kind of hard to do it, but I can't, I've been trying to work on this. And Izuku's like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, after seeing you fight those guys over the years, like, it kind of made me start to think about my own quirk. And then recently with my hardening becoming more full body, I've been thinking about maybe, like, I can increase, like, the strength in certain areas at will. And I've been trying to do that. And the only thing I can really do now is, like, yeah, I can harden my whole body, but I can do this. And he just, like his fingers and everything, like, get pointy and, like, super hard. And then he just basically grabs something with them and, like, digs into the metal. And he's like, yeah, like this. I don't know, like, feels weird, and I can only hold it for a couple of seconds. And as he says that, his hands revert back to like a normal hardening. And he's just like, dude, that's awesome. And Kirishina's like, yeah, but your quirk's is like looks cooler when you like do stuff like this. And Izuku's like, yeah, well, I've had a few more years to like train with it than you have, remember? And Izuku's kind of looking down, and then Kirishima like gives him, like, punches me in the shoulder. He's like, dude, you know I didn't mean it like that. And Izuku's kind of laughing, and All Might kind of like walks up to the two, and he's like, what are you two laughing about? And Izuku and Kirishima is there. He's like, oh, that. We were just laughing about something. It's nothing important. It's just like an inside joke between the three of us. And then Ishido comes walking up and is like, they were probably talking about how Izuku still is uncomfortable with the way he looks. That's why he's always wearing that hoodie. I've always been trying to tell him that he is kind of handsome. And this kind of makes like Kirishima jealous a little bit. And he's like, and Kirishima and Ishido, after like another hour, like say that they have some stuff that they have to take care of, and that this was like these past couple of months were like amazing, and they thank All Might for like all of his advice and input. So basically, these two have, I would I would say, what they would normally develop in their 10 months of training, like by themselves, they've gained within this 2 months, because they've actually had good instructions from like the number one hero. So the next 8 months or so, eight and a half months, they're going to be doing like their own thing, because like they like Izuku kind of asks him, like, so, but don't you guys want to train more with All Might? And he's like, yeah, but we still have to study. And Izuku's just like, oh yeah, that's right, you two are. And this is when like kind of gives him like a death glare, and he's like, oh, okay, okay. Because like Izuku is the smart one out of the three, and it's just like another trait his alien ancestry. And then All Might like a little, like after they left, like asked Izuku like one more time, and it's like, young man, you've come a long way in the past 2 months. And Izuku's like, yeah, but I'm sorry, All Might, like, I said all those things. I was just seeing Kachan and then remembering the past and everything. I was just, like, upset, and, like, even though I don't like the guy, like, he didn't deserve to die, you know? And All Might just kind of, like, starts laughing, and he bumps up, and he's like, oh, young man, you are perfect for this quirk. And Izuku's like, really? Like, I honestly don't think I'm a good fit with, like, how my personality is and everything. And All Might's like, just like you saying that, and you inspired me. I was at my limit, and you inspired me to go past my limits. One thing that's in common with all heroes is they act without thinking. Is the essence of a true hero. And you, young man, you did it. Even though your quirk wasn't necessarily suited for the situation, and you were inexperienced, your actions led to the safe recovery of that young boy that you call Hakatsuki, or as that young boy Bakugo. And like this kind of shocks Izuku, and All Might asks him one more time. He's like, young man, would you give me the honor of becoming my successor? And Izuku accepts like All Might's offer under one condition. If All Might finds a better successor, he'll pass it on to them, because he doesn't necessarily want like the power of One for All. But he's like, that seems fair. And Izuku like spends like the next 8 months developing his One for All abilities, and also because of the nature of One for All, like being an enhancement, like it enhances your quirks, and slash it does give you minor enhancements to like physical attributes like durability and strength. Like it does increase your base strength and like your durability, as shown from All Might's wiki page and Izuku's wiki page on One for All. So that being said, this one was kind of might be it seemed a little rushed, but I am going to make multiple parts. And remember that this is part 2, but it's going like part 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe 5 are going to be more in depth of the 50 sub special that I did. And that being said, thank you guys all for all the new subs and all the likes. Please comment, like, any suggestions down in the comment section. Like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And also, I am going to continue doing the what if Deku had a hybrid quirk, but I kind of needed something else so I don't run into a situation where I have one what if that's ended and I haven't really put out anything, and it takes me a while to like actually come up and script these. It takes me like a day or so, and I don't want it to leave you guys like an entire day without putting out a video or going over stuff. So that being said, enjoy the rest of your day and see you in the next vid.